Let's go!
My name's Saruni Munasinghe. I studied at the University of Kent. I did cultural studies and comparative literature, and I'm a graduate. I graduated this year.
Hi, my name is Isabel Colton. I'm an SEO executive at Reflect, and this is my first year.
My name is Aisha Murfazi. I have just graduated last year with a social anthropology degree with a year abroad in Japan. And I was a digital marketing intern, but now I have recently gotten kept on as an SEO executive.
So I support the CX department, which is all about trying to support users through their entire buying process. My day-to-day is quite varied. I could one day be a data analyst. I'm going through all of our survey findings, trying to find out insights that will provide the best actions for our clients to take. Another day, I'm working alongside the pay department to make sure that our landing pages are right. I can experiment with formats such as Google Optimize and HubSpot and PageSense to run experiments to see what's the best way to get users to engage with our websites. And yeah, other days I could be doing persona work, where we segment our audiences and we try and find out what makes them.
I get to the office at about 8 in the morning, and I always do a bit of admin. I set up my Google Calendar for the day or for the week if it's a Monday. And then we always have a meeting at 9 with the SEO team where we go over what we're doing throughout the day, if we have any blockers, and just general tips around the team and see how everyone's doing. I tend to spread my tasks out gradually throughout the day, so I do my trickier, bigger tasks in the morning. I usually squeeze a bit of admin in midday, and the occasional meeting.
So I commute into Maidstone, and I arrive at the office like about 8:30. And then we have like about SEO catch-ups, morning catch-ups at about 9 o'clock in the morning. We just talk about our daily tasks, what we do, if we have any blockers on that day, and if we have any capacity for any more work. And then later on, I will finish at like about 6, half 6-ish, depending on how much work I have.
Perfect. And can you tell me a little bit about what tasks you'll do during that day?
Yeah, so it kind of depends. Before, when I started my internship, I mainly did a lot of content work. So it was copywriting, doing some of the meta amends, doing some blog writing. And then later on, I kind of wanted to branch out into other SEO tasks. So I decided to do some more technical tasks. So right now I'm kind of doing kind of like a balance of both, which is really nice because I get to kind of be exposed to other different types of aspects of SEO, I guess.
I think in terms of soft skills, there's been a lot of hard skills, but soft skills, I think the biggest thing for me has been time management. And understanding how different departments work to build a project together. So I started off in accounts first, and then I switched to the CX team, which I think was a perfect path because I got an understanding of how the account management team check in with the clients, how the goals within the company work, how like the departments that do the legwork make sure that everything's done in a way that us as a company can protect our brand and make sure we're delivering the best way that we can. So after joining accounts, I jumped into CX. So time management has been major. Understanding just, this is the first time I've worked 9 to 5 in the industry that I want to be in. So understanding how people, work together in an office.
I've learned a lot of technical SEO since I've been at Reflect. I've learned that it's a lot more broad than I thought it was. But to be honest, most of the skills that I've learned being at Reflect are personal skills such as like time management, managing my tasks and communicating throughout the team. Because obviously if I feel that I can't get a task out on time, I need to be able to communicate that effectively and in the right time scale as well. So yeah, most of my tasks have been personal for me.
I know when I first started the internship, I had an idea of what SEO and digital marketing was, but I didn't really know properly. But now I've realized that SEO is a lot more than just copywriting or just keywords. Like you've got the creative side, which is like copywriting, and then you've got the very technical side, which is where you're using a lot of software. So I think within my internship, I've just gained a lot more exposure within just SEO. Yeah.
My biggest challenge has been holding grace for myself with the work that I'm doing, because at a certain point in the internship, you get to a point where you have enough clarity in your role that you know where you want to be, but you're not there yet because you don't have the experience, and the training that you're having is like reflective of where you are. So the gulf between where you want to be and where you are can be difficult, especially when you want to produce work that is client ready and something that you're proud of. So I think the hardest part for me has been holding that grace and knowing that actually I will get there. I can trust the process, and that's okay.
Obviously I worked in a nursery setting before here, which is very, very different to office working. And my biggest challenge has been managing my time and just conducting myself, because there's nobody telling you, you need to do this, you need to do this. It's all down to you. It's up to you to check your calendar, to see what's there, to see what needs doing, and it's up to you to get your deadlines done. No one's going to do that for you.
I think within SEO there's so many different software that you have to use. So for example, you've got SEMrush and you've got Screaming Frog, and you just starting from the terminology, it's hard enough, but then actually getting to figure out what to do within the software, I think was quite a challenge. It's one thing to do training, but then it's another thing to actually get stuck into it and figure out what to do. So I think that was probably the hardest thing, to just fiddle with it, to just play with it, to actually realize, okay, this is the tab that I need to do, or this is the task that I need to do. So yeah.
Working with my line manager to get training on, so we do persona work. We work with our clients to find out what audiences they have and how they want to focus in on them. And we'll go off that to get our own data and provide insights. And that was a big piece for me because I supported throughout. And it was really gratifying to be able to learn how to do it, get it wrong, and then work with him to get it right again, and then see my work go towards a client.
One of my biggest achievements was getting out a keyword research task for a client on time. That was a huge, huge task. It took me 6 days to complete because I had to do keyword research for all their blog content, but not only their main categories, but also subcategories and subcategories on their US and UK site.
Probably doing the things that I never thought I could. So I would have never thought I could do blog writing, for example. It's so out of my comfort zone. It's very creative in my opinion, just putting my opinions down and showing it to the world and being okay, this is what I think about this, and you have to read it. I'm just kidding. And you have to read. But just content writing was probably the hardest thing. That was probably the biggest achievement for me, just because I really struggled with it. But then getting to see the fruition of my work was nice, and then actually having it live on the website, and then seeing posted at this date, and I'm I wrote everything. It just makes me feel a certain type of satisfaction, I guess.
So I studied at the University of Kent, and we have a really great employability service. They're amazing. Hannah Greer is my favourite person ever. And I attended a lot of things like how to meet a disability confident employer, how to get your CV and your personal brand popping on LinkedIn. I also was an outreach ambassador. I just did loads of these different extracurricular and internal kind of workshops with the university, and our scheme kind of awards you points and rewards for that kind of work. So I applied through my university scheme and put in an application. I wrote down why I want to work at Reflect, and why I wanted to get into digital marketing. Had an interview. I talked to Sylvan and Hannah, and it was lovely. And then, I joined about a couple of months later.
I actually knew Becky through a friend, and through word of mouth, my CV was passed on to them as they knew I was looking to get into SEO and digital marketing. And and they set up an interview with me just to talk about, like where do I want to go with my career? Do I want to work in an agency, freelance? Am I looking to go to uni? And then we spoke a bit about that, and they offered me an internship where I could explore that and get to know it a bit better and to see where it all went.
Before I graduated, I was part of the EP scheme, so I was part of the employability scheme, which where you attend different talks, you attend lots of different activities. So for me, I was mainly part of something called I was a global officer. So I worked with different universities around the world, and I was kind of like an ambassador for them. And I made sure that different international students were heard, that I made sure that they felt like they were that their problems were solved. So as a global officer, I talked to a lot of different universities around the world, which was really interesting. And through that, I kind of just racked up points within the EP scheme. And with those points, you can apply for different internships or work experiences. And I decided to apply for Reflect.
If you have an understanding of what you want to do with the internship, that's a great opportunity for you. Like, I had a friend who was doing one at the same time as me, and hers was only 2 weeks, but she had a clear understanding of what she wanted to get out of it, the skills that she needed. She basically spent the first day, and I spent the first, probably because I had the time, about a week and a half, just talking to all of the heads of departments, getting an understanding of what was happening so that I could really focus in on what I needed to plug, if you know what I mean. So yeah, have an understanding of what you want to do, and take some time if you can to get your understanding of the company down, so that anything that you do in the future with that company in the internship is focused. Because with an internship, you only have a certain amount of time. So if you can be tactical about what you want to get done and how you want to frame things time-wise, that would be helpful.
Do research on the company that you're looking to get an internship with. You need to make sure that your values meet their values, and your culture fits their culture, or that they're accepting of other cultures, etc. And do a bit of research as well about the industry you're going into, because like an internship can only get you so far, and going in with that base knowledge will really, really help you to excel through the company.
I think I would say to do as much research about the company as possible, to figure out if their values, if you feel like you're going to be comfortable, all of those things. It's not just about if you're going to be interested in what you're going to do, it's about the company culture. So I think understanding what that company does, their clients and everything, and doing the research is very important.
My favourite thing has been the culture, but also the freedom, which kind of comes together with that. So I was able to pursue what I wanted out of this role, which sounds a bit vague, but I knew that I wanted to soak up as much as possible, and I was given the freedom to do that, to self-direct the way that I wanted to.
I think my favourite part about working at Reflect is the culture and the people. Everyone is so friendly, they're so kind, so welcoming. There's always a friendly face in the office, someone to talk to if you need to. There's always someone to offer support, whether that's, personal or work in life. And it's just a very positive, happy atmosphere to be working in.
Because I commute into the office, I think being in the office has been my favourite part.